Hi, Algebra 2 students. This is Miss Leminski. Happy Friday afternoon. First, I want to thank you guys for a great week. I know that there's a lot going on in all your classes, and you're doing a great job of trying to figure out how to navigate this new world of learning. I'm somewhat hoping this is my last weekly video to send you, but as I talked about today in class, for those of you who were there or joined, I did make a slight change to where you can find what you need to do to try to simplify for you. Throughout next week, if you could try both options and decide what you like best, that would be great, because the new way I'm doing does take quite a bit of time, and I'm more than happy to do it if you guys are going to use it. So just test it out and see what you think. If you like that better, I'll switch to that. Okay, before I go any further though, those of you who are Group A people, I do need to make sure you know that office hours on Monday morning, my in-person ones, I did have to cancel them. Okay, so it shows up here on Schoology, but I did cancel my Monday morning office hours in person. I had a meeting come up that I have to put in that place. So unfortunately, I won't have those. I still have my Monday and Thursday virtuals and then Friday morning. Okay, so here's the schedule for next week. You can see the calendar at the top. It looks just like it always does. You can see that I have changed the language in classwork to like 1-4 day 1 recap. That's important because remember, this weekend you are watching the 1-4 day 1 video. Okay. And then if you watch that video and you didn't understand it all or just like the little extra that I give at the beginning of class, you're going to join class live if you're a Group B student or an EVA student as your ABA. If you're a Group B or EVA student and you totally got it, then you can just jump right into the 1-4 day 1 Pearson practice. If you do that one, though, you have to make sure it's complete and submitted by 3:30 p.m. Okay? Then as a reminder, Monday night, you'll watch the next video, which will be lesson 1-4 day 2. That needs to be complete that night so that the next day, if you're coming to class, you have that background, and so I can just recap it. And if you're an EVA or Group A or Group B, student that's at home, you will make sure that you make the right choice for yourself, whether you come to class or just work on the assignment. Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So you have 2 nights you can see here to watch the 1-5 day 1 video. That's because we won't be doing anything with that until Thursday. Okay, so you'll need to watch that sometime between Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday night or Thursday, if you're in class, so now a Group B student will be recapping that lesson. And so Group A and EVA students, you would decide based on that video whether you want to join class or do the work. Repeat that night, lesson 1-5 day 2 to make the choice for Friday. One last thing for Friday, you'll see that it's watch the lesson 1-6 day 1 video, but then I also have on here that you will have another lesson quiz that I'm going to talk about in a second. I'll assign it on this Friday. It's due the following Wednesday, so you don't have to do it that night. We will not have an async day the following week, so you're going to do your lesson quiz just whenever you get a chance after you feel confident in sections 1-4 and 1-5. So that'll open up on that Friday. Okay, so the day I skipped over was Wednesday, our async day. And I want to make sure I take some time to talk about that because that will look a little bit different this week. But now it's the more traditional. Okay, so it's async for everybody. Your ABA, so your attendance-based assignment, is to go into Pearson. I've labeled it as the Pearson thing, so you need to know to go to Pearson. And on Wednesday, a lesson quiz for sections 1-1 and 1-2 will pop up. It's going to be called the 1-1, 1-2 Pearson lesson quiz. That won't open till Wednesday morning, and it'll close at 3:30 on Wednesday. So you need to open it sometime that day and submit it, complete and submit by 3:30 that day for both your attendance and for your grade on that one. Okay, so that's the one thing that it's assigned and due the same day. The only other thing you want to make sure you do on Wednesday is all of the assignments from this past week. So your Pearson practice, from both assignments from 1-1 and both assignments from day 2, technically they're due next Wednesday. So after you complete your lesson quiz, go into your completed tab and make sure that all of these show up as complete. If any are in progress, make sure you submit them by 3:30. Okay, so if they're in progress, submit them by 3:30. Okay, so that's kind of the layout for the week, but now I want to take just a minute to show you a new option. Okay, I'm trying the events that'll show up in your right-hand side. It was recommended that this might be easier for students. So I'm going to try it this week and then get your feedback. I did have to put in here that, so to watch I put it in as Sunday. It's technically assigned today, but you need to make sure you watch the lesson 1 for day 1 video before Monday. So a new option for you, rather than going through the chapter 1 folder to find the video, as a reminder, if you want the old way, you would just go into chapter 1, click on the video, and you would pick the one you're going to watch. Okay, so not too hard if you understand how to read the calendar at the top. This new option is for people who are struggling with the calendar. This is going to be a day by day. Okay, so sometime between now and Monday morning, you could go to this link. And if you wanted to watch that 1 for day 1 video, it's hyperlinked right in here. So you could click on that and watch that video, take your notes. Okay, more importantly though, when you get into the days where there's more going on, I'm going to call them like Algebra 2 Slominski. So on Monday, when you get to your time to do your math, you would click on that. And then I have listed in here everything you need to know. So everything I just explained in the calendar, you could read about here. Okay, so in class, we're reinforcing what we saw in the 1 for day 1 video, ABA. So if you're at home, you're picking one of these 2 options. If you are going to join class live, I did hyperlink that right here. So you could just click this and it would get you to the Google Meet. If you don't come to class live, so if you don't click on this, then you have to complete and submit your 1 for day 1 Pearson practice by 3:30 p.m. Okay, that's your attendance. If you join class live, joining class is your attendance. You'll still need to do this Pearson practice, but if you don't complete it by 3:30, that's still okay. But if you don't come to class, you need to complete that by 3:30. Underneath your ABAs, I have listed the homework for tonight. This time it would just be watching the 1 for day 2 video. So again, that's a hyperlink. You can just click that. I'll show you this time. If you click on that, it brings you right to the video. And then at the bottom for right now, this week, I have this statement. Everyone in all 3 groups, Group A, Group B, and EVA, need to watch this video before school starts tomorrow on Tuesday, when I teach the reinforcement, or I'm going to call it the recap in future ones. At the beginning of the hour, it's assuming you watched the video. So if you're at home Tuesday, you decide if you need the teaching at the beginning of the hour by watching the video and seeing if you understand. If you don't, join class live on Tuesday. Again, I can't stress enough that the expectation is that you watch those videos before you come to class, because starting Monday, I'm going to start recapping versus teaching it. Okay? So that's where you would go for Monday. And again, you could go down, then on Tuesday, you would click on Tuesday, and you could see what you need to do. Okay, so it's going to look very similar every day, but the links are all in there. So one place you can go. Last but not least, I do want to show you Wednesdays. So this icon right here, you don't have to click on it. This just means it's going to be a graded activity. Okay, so eventually you're actually going to have 5 of these boxes here. I forgot to put them in. I should have before I made the video, but you'll have 5 of these boxes. 1 for the Pearson lesson quiz, and then there's going to be that says 1 day 1 Pearson, 1 day 2 Pearson, 1 2 day 1 Pearson, and 1 2 day 2 Pearson. Those are going to be where I put your grades. But again, if you want to see a list of what you do on the 23rd, go to the calendar icon, click the link, and you will see that it is listed here. So your ABA is to complete and submit the Pearson lesson quiz by 3:30, and then also due today are the Pearson practices. Now, one final note, if you did come to class, you heard this already, but just so you know, the Pearson lesson quiz, those are still like 3 to 5 questions. The only difference between the practice and the lesson quizzes is once it's a lesson quiz, you don't get to retry the problems and you can't redo it. Okay, so homework assignments, you can redo a problem up to 3 times. If you don't get it, you can do a similar problem. If you submit the whole assignment, you don't like your percentage, you can redo that. The lesson quiz, you answer all the questions, you submit, and that is your score for that quiz. However, I do need you to know that the lesson quizzes are out of a total of 5 points, just like each of these 4 assignments. So within this week, you'll get 25 formative points, 5 of which are the lesson quiz. And remember, we do have that same scale on all of these things. So all of the Pearson stuff, it's a scale where if you score 80 to 100%, you get a 5 out of 5. If you score 60 to 79%, you get a 4 out of 5. 40 to 59% is a 3 out of 5. So scoring low on any given assignment is never going to make or break your grade. But what I would say is if you ever score really low on something like a lesson quiz or even a homework assignment, that's just a trigger for you guys to know that you should be seeking some help. And I'll keep an eye on it as well and reach out if I think you could maybe use some extra. So that's what we're looking at. Again, I wanted to show the new option for finding what you're doing daily over in the upcoming. And you can click on those and things should be hyperlinked. So play with it a little bit, see what you like better. Remember, if you're joining me in office hours, it's this link. And if you want to join class live and you're not going through the events, you would click here. I think that's it. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks.